He's pretty old though. He is officially
How
retired.
old is John Williams now?
He is in his late 80s. I think he might even be pushing 90 pretty damn
Isn't he
hard.
still like producing?
John Williams?
Yeah.
No, he actually the last Star Wars movie I think is his last movie he's gonna do.
Really? Because I'm looking at IMDb and it says Christmas with Arwen is coming out soon. Ooh, it looks like he wrote a couple composites for Animaniacs.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who did?
Oh.
John Williams?
Mm-hmm.
No shit. I thought Star Wars was kind of pulling him out of retirement.
Paul Murray Live, Earth to Ned TV series. Looks like he's still banging some out. Oh, he also did the music for NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
There's music. Doesn't it just go like ding, ding, ding?
Hi, I'm Lester Holt.
Damn it.
Fuck Brian Williams.
Guys, I was hoping to get some 1-star reviews from Amazon on like the actual movie, and all of these 1 stars are for the package that it came in.
Aw.
Aw. So you're saying that people on Amazon are smart or dumb?
Both? I don't know.
That's a shame.
Let me try again. Hold on a second.
All right. Well, while we wait on you, I shall introduce the episode, folks. This is the Empire Strikes Back 1-star review episode, and you may be wondering, hey, you guys aren't reading reviews from businesses in Greenville, South Carolina.
This isn't a local business.
I can't support
Star Wars
this.
is in a galaxy far, far away.
I can't give my money to this. Yes, you can. By subscribing to Disney Plus in your household and the 4 devices you can get it with your friends and family. But seriously, this is a tribute month. The next couple episodes, as you can tell, with the last one being A New Hope, this would obviously being Empire Strikes Back, we are saluting our buddy Caleb Wesman, munching on one of my healthy keto cookies.
These are amazing, dude.
Oh, thanks. They're a little too thick in my books, but I'll take your word on it. As we are doing a special
Wait, you didn't say me.
trilogy. I'm getting to you, damn it.
Oh, okay.
Trilogy episode for him as he's giving birth to, not him
My
giving
wife
birth.
will
You're
probably-
giving birth?
Yeah, my wife will probably do that.
Holy shit, you're Junior in this shit? You're
Yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger from Junior in it?
We hadn't decided until this week who was going to be giving the birth.
Caleb is a 2021 man.
Did you flip a coin, or was it rock, paper, scissors? Or
It was a you know when you
Right.
put your hands on the bat and the first one to get their hand on the top.
Zoe,
But it was
Zoe
your
may be
dick.
giving
Right.
birth, but you're going to be breastfeeding, all right? So,
Wow,
Oh.
fat joke. Thanks, man.
no,
Really appreciate it.
look at those pecs. This episode is brought to you by Brits Brothers Gym, by the way.
wait, is it really?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
Ollie
you quit?
ain't paying you for no, but Ollie's not going to pay you for it.
Well, okay. I thought he was going to give you a steroid shot in the ass. So
I would love one.
he was like, hey, come here.
Let me
Free
pop
one
out
on
a-
me.
it would probably help with the tits for
Hey,
milk.
no. Sometimes you get gynecomastia if you do steroids.
Too far, Larry. And that too far joke is from Larry Simonson.
My dad was
a
my
syringe.
father.
His dad was a syringe.
No, my dad was my father.
And because we all love Star Wars, we're actually going to have fun a couple of episodes here and read the reviews on IMDb, or in Larry's case, hopefully some on Amazon or somewhere else.
It's not working out.
Okay, never mind on that. On the reviews for Empire Strikes Back. And let's see if we can find some good ones here. A lot of these are so long and so horrible.
Yeah.
1 star, bad one. Worst dead movie it is.
Aw.
Unsatisfactory, unethical things it does to your feelings, not good realization of science fiction. Dumb characters. I've seen many good reviews. My expectation was that this movie was going to be good, but it is not. Complete waste of time. Nothing I promise you get from it. Baseless, ambivalent matters runs through the movie. I hate and would rate this the worst one. The robot talks too much and unnecessary junk talks. The monk was not a necessary character.
The monk?
Disappointed with the relations of the princess. Movie made her unattractive.
Oh, I can't believe a movie made a woman unattractive. Absolute fucking sin.
Why even bother watching if the woman will be unattractive?
Right.
There's
And
only one woman in
Did
this
you
whole
notice
movie.
how weirdly this was written? The first sentence is worst dead movie it is.
Worst dead movie it is.
Unsatisfactory ethical things it does to your feelings.
Is he-
Unsatisfactory unethical things it does to your feelings.
Is he quoting Yoda? Is he like doing a Yoda voice?
That's why I was
the only way I
thinking.
can read it. Dead on arrival, this movie was. Yeah.
Leia fugly she is.
Far over budget it was. I have no idea if that's true or not. Well, and here's one.
It definitely was. Every
Yeah.
single one was.
Here's one. My brother can wait here. This film, it's above the film rate he can watch. Thank you. 1 star.
This is
0 of 6 found this helpful.
This sounds very similar to the one that I'm looking at
All
right
right.
now. It's not that good. Get over it. It's not that good. Get over it. Just stop. 7 out of 49 found that helpful.
Oh, so hateful. All right, let's see here. Whew, these are long.
I first saw this movie when I rented it out from my local video store. I can honestly say it is the worst movie I have ever seen.
Wow.
It doesn't even deserve the right to be called a movie. I am a big fan of episodes 1 and 2, and I wasn't really disappointed with 3, but Empire Strikes Back is just horrible. The acting is dreadful, the bad guys aren't scary or funny, and aren't even both guys. I don't know what he's trying to say there. The kid who plays Luke Skywalker is dreadful, and you're left hoping the bad guys actually get him and strangle him.
Wow, are you?
The storyline is just stupid, and why they decided to keep the same characters as the first 2 Home Alones is beyond me.
What?
What? Overall, I have to say this movie is a big disappointment, and I can only give it the rating 1 because I had to. If I could give it a 0, I would.
I mean, he's right. Joe Pesci was terrible in this movie.
Right.
You
You staring at me, Darth Vader?
What, am I funny like a clown?
like, how am I funny? Like, no, you tell me, how am I funny, huh? What, I amuse you?
And then Han Solo cut him open and put Luke Skywalker inside of him.
Look, I still think that was a good addition by Lucas in the 2000s. I'm just saying the special editions with.
Joe Pesci?
He's like, I owe him a favor.
Yeah, Spider, you muttering, stuttering prick.
Hey, look, if if George Lucas can put NSYNC in Attack of the Clones, he can put Joe Pesci in Empire Strikes Back.
Hey, Marv, look, we're the sticky stormtroopers.
Episode 5. Warning, spoilers. Splendid performance, ... Actors well organized and very creative, ... Very entertaining indeed. 3 exclamation points. 2 stars.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure someone lent their phone to their child, and that's what they wrote.
Speaking of childs, Caleb, you already got one?
You can go.
Okay. This 2-hour version is a terrible war movie. Very violent. And I wouldn't want my kids to go through what we went through watching these 6 piles of garbage. The Empire Strikes Back 30-minute version that Gary Hickson put in his files after Inner Space is really a masterpiece. Unfortunately, Disney would not allow it to actually be released. I only get about 30 hits a day on my 4 videos, and I'm sorry to say, don't have the money to release too many more, but there's always hope.
What?
I really enjoyed the experience in 1980, but I was a dumb kid, stoned on marijuana and acid. The computer graphics were very avant-garde at the time. It definitely a love story compared to my version, but it is the very long and very boring. Their version of the Force is levitation, which is not the Force. The Force is feeling it, and not using the ability too often. Then levitation is possible. Thank you, Disney. Love, Cinderella. 1 star.
What?
Wow. That was a drug trip.
That was wild. What was that YouTube plug in the middle there?
It's like, while you're here.
I only have 4 videos.
Gary Hickson put in his files after Inner Space. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a 30-minute version of Empire.
That
I
Gary
don't wanna
Hickson
watch.
put out there? Hold on, I gotta see that.
Larry's off and running, listeners.
Listen,
Is this like,
I apologize ahead of time if I accidentally read a review you've already reviewed because
You're going to be looking up the 30-minute.
Is that kind of like the Topher Grace Revenge of the Sith original trilogy cut, whatever he does?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Here, hold on, I got one. First of all, the guy reviewing it, like his username is great. Art Vandelay, importer, exporter.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good.
Yeah, this was written 4th December 2020, and you'll notice some language here.
Wait, what year? 2020?
2020.
Okay, all right.
At least the original Star Wars had a story with a beginning and an end. The sequel is nothing more than an action-filled installment in a Saturday afternoon serial. How about anyone older than 12 enjoy this? But it has other problems. Luke is a simp. The more he's on screen, the worse it gets. I'm surprised that in the 3 years between Star Wars and the sequel, Lucas hadn't figured out that Han Solo was the star. Frankly, I would have drop-kicked Princess Leia over, too. She's so dull. And then, when you think it can't get any worse, Fozzie Bear from the Muppets shows up wearing a little elfin costume and speaking with a Yiddish syntax. And by the end, it's obvious this was just a setup for the third one. But which time I would have figured everyone would have lost interest. Yiddish syntax. That's a little shitty of you there, bud.
Yikes.
A little shitty.
Hey, guys, I just realized something. The guy that I just read, his username is Gary Hickson.
Plug.
But the weird thing is, if you look at his other reviews, there's one for Inner Space. And it has a very similar... The very first part of it for Inner Space is, this is the worst movie I've ever seen since the 6 Star Wars films. The version Gary Hickson has on YouTube, which is 30 minutes long, is much better. I think he copy-pasted some shit from his Inner Space review.
He's like, hey, bro, can you plug this for me? I got you.
No idea what's happening. All right, I'm done now.
I'm going to go on YouTube later and look up 30-minute Star Wars.
Oh my God.
Caleb, are you still up? Yeah. Anyway, this is number 17. Just shows how much this voting really means. The 17th best film of all time, question mark? Maybe if you're 13, this is a nice little adventure story. And quite frankly, if you think this is a great film, your nerd is showing. It's good, but I'm giving it a 3 just because of balance out of all the idiots. And there's 24,000 of them and who gave it a 10. Get a life, people, or at least a girlfriend. It's actually more like a 6 or 7. George Lucas makes nice action figures.
That's very true. That is basically how he made all of the money to...
I hand make all my figures for people, and then I put them in a box. You can come to Lucas Ranch to come get them.
Is this your George Lucas?
Skywalker Ranch, I mean.
Oh, what's happening?
Hello, I'm George Lucas.
No, what's happening?
Hello, I made Jar Jar Binks.
It's like poetry.
Will you get me a Diet Coke?
It's like poetry. Action figures.
It's easier to do George Lucas if you have a double chin because you can just kind of get it up.
The truth is,
Don't get me a Diet Coke.
we needed some more special effects. A story about special effects isn't worth watching.
I love Leia.
I wanted to bang my sister growing up.
All right. The worst Star Wars movie ever, The Last Jedi, is still the best by far. This had no plot.
No, it isn't.
Larry, did you write this?
Oh, guys, I just found my review that I left ages ago. This 1-star review. The characters are the only thing that saved this film. Different in the last film, The Last Jedi, which brings us the heart, emotions, epicity of what Star Wars truly is, which is smarter, more complex, and have not as flaws as this film had. People just repeat what others say. Can't believe that this piece of trash had more positive reviews. That is a masterpiece like The Last Jedi is. That makes me lose faith in humanity sometimes. It's like you have to give easy, basic, and dumb scripts to people, because if you give them something mystique, magical, epic, complex like The Last Jedi, they don't understand it and hate it with no arguments. Here is in the film, the sound effects almost made me vomit. The plot, well, it had no plot. So it was extremely boring. As the only real fan of Star Wars, my rating is honest and should be considered as the most important vote.
Wow, the only real fan. Van has 40 Star Wars things in here. We're doing a podcast about Star Wars.
We literally shanghaied this podcast about local businesses to talk about Star Wars.
And I'm not even the 10th biggest Star Wars fan I know.
I know much bigger nerds.
The most overrated movie in history. After a strong
history.
After a strong start at the Battle of Hoth, the entire movie takes a turn to extremely boring. Say what you will about the prequels, at least they had highly cinematic, climactic battles to keep anybody invested.
Wow.
Wow.
Here's one of those that we really like where the person just doesn't understand the rating system. 2 out of 10, right? They gave it 2 stars out of a possible 10. Splendid performance. Actors well organized and very creative. Very entertaining indeed. 2 out of 10.
But what?
Well, God, these are funny.
I'm just like I did last time. I am looking up some original reviews from the when did this movie come out? This was still
1980.
80. Just 80, right?
The 40th anniversary.
From the New Yorker. Oh, Pauline Kael. We read one of their reviews in the last one. There is no sense that this ebullient, youthful saga is running thin in imagination, or that it has begun to depend excessively on its marvelous special effects, that it is in any danger, in short, of stiffening into mannerism or mere billion-dollar style. By far, the most imaginative part of the Star Wars trilogy, this middle bridging film is chained to an unresolved plot that doesn't have the leaping comic book hedonism of the 1977 Star Wars, but you can feel the love of movie magic that went into its cascading imagery. I'm not sure I'm up for 7 more Star Wars adventures, but I can hardly wait for the next one. Oh, okay, so she changed her mind, essentially, from the previous one, because she did not have a very great opinion of the first Star Wars.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Empire's the funnest of the Star Wars movies, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoth. Everything on Hoth is just killer, beginning to end.
I'm trying to remember, what else did the director, Irvin Kershner, what else has he done? Because he hasn't done a lot of movies, but so it's like interesting when you look at his other stuff he's worked on, because it's not what you would expect from the guy who did Empire Strikes Back.
Nothing happens. A lot of fallout from A New Hope and to build up Return of the Jedi. But honestly, nothing much happens. Not a lot of Empire Strikes Back for a movie titled Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, wow.
They freeze the the second lead in Kryptonite.
They chop off the head of one of the protagonists.
Wait, Kryptonite?
I'm an idiot.
Carbonate.
And the little
I can't
pigmen.
believe you got that wrong, Caleb.
And the little pigmen. How do you mean nothing happens?
So Irvin Kershner did Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Never Say Never Again.
Yep.
With Sean Connery.
Which is not a Bond movie.
I know it's not.
It's just hilarious, though, because it is.
It is a Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RoboCop 2.
Right. And then the rest of it is like nothing I have ever,
weird shit.
I would ever recognize.
The Return of a Man Called Horse.
Oh.
Okay. I might watch some of these. Oh, he did The Last Temptation of Christ, though, which was a smash hit. Well, I guess I should go back to doing the podcast.
Here's another criticism one from 1980, Vincent Canby for the New York Times. The Empire Strikes Back is not a truly terrible movie. It's a nice movie. It's not by any means as nice as Star Wars. It's not as fresh and funny and surprising and witty, but it is nice and inoffensive, and in a way that no one associated with it need be ashamed of. It's also silly. Attending to it is a lot like reading the middle of a comic book. It is amusing in fitful patches, but you're likely to find more beauty, suspense, discipline, craft, and art when watching a New York Harbor pilot bring the Queen Elizabeth II into her Hudson River berth, which is what The Empire Strikes Back most reminds me of. It's a big, expensive, time-consuming, essentially mechanical operation. The Empire Strikes Back is about as personal as a Christmas card from a bank.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, sick reference with that Elizabeth, the Queen Elizabeth II arriving in her berth in New York Harbor.
Christmas card from a bank.
Somebody dared him to use that line. Like,
That's a killer line. That's killer.
You know what it is? It's because Hoth reminded him of Christmas. He's like, ooh, Ice Planet, Christmas.
so as we are winding down, because it's really hard to find bad reviews of Empire Strikes Back.
I kind of went over to the critical ones because I kind
They
of
ran
ran out
out.
of 1 stars.
Yeah, is that good? I remember, I think I was 10, and I had already seen, the trilogy a couple of times, but I remember the first time it finally kind of stuck in my head of what was going on. I was like paying full attention. I was watching it on cable one Sunday morning at my house with my brother, and it was after Empire Strikes Back ended, and the whole scene with Han and all that, and then Luke and Leia are looking out through the stars, saying, we'll find Han, whatever, with Lando. And I remember the movie ends, and I looked at my brother, and I was like, wait, that's it? What?
Oh, yeah.
What? Like, no, they gotta find Han.
Because a lot of times you kind of jump right into Return of the Jedi. But there would have been a time where, there was like a 3-year gap.
Yeah.
I think
Between-
Return
Three,
came out in 84.
Oh, my God.
83, I think. And then, my brother just said to me, shut up, the next one's starting right now. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I sat for, 2.5 hours, and 2.5 hours. I sat for almost 8 hours straight with commercials, 9.5, watching a USA marathon of Star Wars.
Ooh, what a shitty way to watch those movies.
Yeah.
With
No.
commercials.
No. They gave me pee breaks.
So I think that the reason I like Star Wars so much, first of all, my dad loved Star Wars growing up. And one of my earliest memories is my mom was gone for some reason, and my mom and sister were gone for some reason. So my dad ordered pizza. He ordered.
I'm so sorry. You
Pizza
okay?
Hut, and
You meant like your mom was
watch-
temporarily gone. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and we turned off all the lights in the house, and we sat down, and he was like, "I'm going to show you the best movie of my childhood," and I was like, "Ooh, yay!" And Big Crawl. And I'm so young, I'm kind of struggling to read it, so he reads it out loud to me.
It was
and then
Debbie
we
Does
just-
Dallas.
Yeah, and then that was scarring and horrifying, and
And then we went over to New Hope. Yeah.
right. And I don't know. I think that might be why I like it. Just sitting there with my dad, I was like,
I
was way too young to be watching Star Wars. I was probably 5.
I'm trying to remember when Empire Strikes Back became my favorite of the original trilogy. Because for a while it was Return of the Jedi, but like
Same.
But like Empire Strikes Back kind of holds up as like this is like a strong. Maybe it's because we're like adult and jaded, or just like the kind of the downer like middle ending feels a little more real to what life feels like sometimes.
Well, there's more memories and like substance from when I watch it now as like an adult, right? Like I get like more of the drama back and forth, and like
Yeah.
it's definitely
Being a 20-year-old who just found out that like everything you thought you kind of knew about your parent figure who you always kind of held up in high regard is actually this evil dude who's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
But
I
kinda
would really fuck with
But
you.
kind of like when I was watching when I was like 10, like it emotionally grabs you because you're like invested with like all the character development, right? Like Leia's now becoming like more of her own, and like Han being captured kind of like makes you realize you care about him, and then like Luke with the revelation of the whole, Vader thing. I was like, okay, that's like iconic,
and just
right?
like watching him grow too. Like you want to see him become like the realized force wizard.
Wow, you guys are smarter than me. I really just liked the Millennium Falcon and the Snowspeeders.
That's pretty great too. I mean,
I just like the Snowspeeders. They were great.
Oh, and like
Empire was my favorite as a kid.
honestly, the music too. This movie might have some of the most memorable like
Yeah.
musical cues that still get like reused in other movies.
Like I just remember the feeling when Vader finally like he's in the I don't know, like the tunnel or whatever in Hoth, and you're like, oh no, he's here.
He's fucking coming.
Yeah,
he's coming for you.
here. And it just looks so good against the white snow, just is all black and it's got a cape flowing, and he's
Of course, they
moving.
do keep playing that Imperial March as if we're all idiots.
John Williams.
What a hack! Lame motifs.
Couldn't they get somebody better?
He definitely used classical music cues.
So what we're saying to you folks listening, go watch Empire Strikes Back. Don't listen to these IMDb people, because what do they know? What do we know? We know good movies. Empire Strikes Back is definitely one of them. Unless, like, you listen to the previous episode and you like American Beauty, like Caleb does, we can watch that
Or
too.
Starship Troopers.
Or Starship Troopers, yes.
Big Starship Troopers guy.
Give us a subscribe, give us a like on anything you're listening to our voices already, whether it be Amazon Echo, whether it be on Apple iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the rest there. We're on everything you can listen to right now. And we got more episodes coming out for you. And again, we're doing this because we want to wish Caleb a happy birth of his future son. By the time this comes out, we're like really creeping up close to him giving birth to his son. Because he's a 2021 man. He can do that. And like Larry said, no?
He cannot.
How?
Where would it come out?
My butt.
Larry, don't deny the science. You're a man of science. Come on.
Are you sure it doesn't just kind of like push out your penis hole? Like,
Oh my god.